Hello and welcome to a playoff edition of Sports Weekly. There was plenty of playoff action this week all over the city. Matt Bisaccio was at Assabet. I was at Marlboro High and Naven Rink, and even our friends at MarlboroPanthers.com chipped in with some footage. So it was a full team effort for this week's Fast Break. The Marlboro boys basketball team took on Milford in the first round of the Division II Central Mass playoffs Monday night, and early on the Panthers were on fire. Chris Doherty down low, Connor McCabe down low. Here's Doherty again, gets it stripped, gets it back, he goes up, two more. Now they go from the outside as João Mendez hits a three. Here Doherty finds Kevin Short, who finds Mendez again, another three. But Milford could shoot, and that kept them in the game, knocking down threes. It would be a 37-29 game at the half. Here, a sweet pass by Connor McCabe. You can't see it, but Mendez hits it. The Panthers rolled in the third quarter. There's Doherty with a stuff. Doherty again, the hoop, the harm. He would make the free throw. At the end of the third, a deep three from Owen Capadonna. But in the fourth, the Scarlet Hawks would battle back. This steal leads to two. Here you have Caden Kelly working on Doherty. He gets it to go, and the foul. A three from the corner. This layup here ties the game. And one. If he makes the free throw, the Hawks go up one. But then Mendez finds Owen Capadonna. A huge three. Puts the Panthers back up two. And now the Scarlet Hawks on the break. This layup ties the game. We go to overtime, and in overtime, here's Kelly again, working over Doherty. Owen Capadonna misses this, and Doherty's fighting for the rebound. He's called for the foul. That's his fifth. The Scarlet Hawks work it inside. Capadonna does his best with his nice running bank shot. Then he'll hit two free throws, keeping the Panthers in the game. But eventually, the inside presence of Doherty, or the lack thereof, I should say, hurts, as Milford scores a few baskets on the inside, and then Anthony Arcudi hits two clutch free throws, and Milford eliminates Marlboro, winning 78-73. Just like the boys, the Marlboro girls took on Milford Tuesday night in the playoffs, and early on it was all Panthers. Here's Sarah Popachak knocking down a three. Hallie McCabe, she knocks down the three. McCabe again off the beautiful pass from Victoria Breitenfeld. Off the miss from the corner three, Nicole Galliak gets the rebound, puts it back. Carrie Morris with the steal, takes it to the hoop. More Panthers points. Milford could shoot, and that would keep him in the game, but here's Joe Petrie with the miss. McCabe skies, gets the rebound, puts it back. Sarah Popachak, her second three of the first half. We move to the second, and the third quarter was all Panthers yet again. Petrie gets to the hoop. Lucy Capadonna finds Petrie again. Hallie McCabe with another three. And here's Galliak, a three of her own. The Panthers really opened it up until the fourth, when the Scarlet Hawks started to make it rain for themselves, hitting back-to-back threes. This is an important basket for Jill Petrie. That is point number 996. This free throw is 997. Later on, the jumper, 999 for her career. But as I mentioned earlier, the Scarlet Hawks were on fire from three. They hit 6 threes in the fourth quarter alone to bring the score within 4 points. But eventually, Sarah Popachak steps to the line, hitting a clutch three. The Panthers go on to win 60-55. They move on in the playoffs and give Jill Petrie a chance to score her 1,000th point.
On Tuesday night, Assabet Valley took on the Bulldogs of Monty Tech in the first round of the Division IV Central Mass playoffs. The Aztecs jumped out to an early 10-2 lead, thanks to the shot making of the team's leading scorer, Ralph Grasso. He would finish the game with 22 points, 6 boards, and 4 assists. In the beginning of the second quarter, the Bulldogs were able to keep the game close, due to some poor passing from AV and shots like these from Monty Tech's Matt Lucas, who finished the contest with a team-high 15 points. Assabet, however, finished the first half on an 11-0 run and never looked back, pushing the lead from 12 to 23. as the Aztecs roll the rest of the way to a 92-53 victory. With the win, Assabet Valley will now host rival Worcester Tech Friday night at 7 p.m. for a spot in the Central Mass semifinals.
Wednesday night at Navin Arena, it was a rivalry game as the Panthers took on Algonquin in the first round of the playoffs. And in the first quarter, Jerry McCarthy beats the goalie, glove hand high, as the Panthers go up 1-0. Shortly after that, the Panthers on the attack again, and Jake Hardy goes low glove side, this time beating the T-Hawks netminder. And finally, all within 2.5 minutes, here's Christian McKinnon off the beautiful pass. He scores 3-0 Panthers in the first. Owen O'Brien does some work, kick save off the deflected pass. We move to the third because nothing really happened in the second period. And here Kevin Reel sneaks on the power play around O'Brien, puts it in net, getting Algonquin on the board. Another scrum in front of the net, and this time Sean Prendergrass, he scores 1-goal game. A relentless attack. O'Brien makes the save. It's jammed around. He covers it up. Now with the goalie pull, Luke Goulet steams ahead of the Algonquin player, has a chance to put it away, can't do it. One final gasp for the T-Hawks, but Marlborough clears the puck. Time would run out. They go on to win 3-2. They advance to play top-ranked Shrewsbury next week in the semifinals. Coming into the winter season, Marlborough had already won 2 Central Mass Division II championships, football and field hockey. They can now add a third as Nate Stemple won the Central Mass Championship for the 170-pound weight class in wrestling. He was also on the football team, so he himself is 2 for 2. Nate is this week's Player of the Week. Marlborough senior Nate Stemple might not look like an imposing figure, but thanks to a friend who encouraged him to try wrestling, he has become a monster on the mats.
I had a friend that wrestled in 8th grade, and he had been trying to convince me all year to come out for the team, and I was pretty lenient. Like, I was like, I don't know if I want to get into it. And I decided to come out and do it, and I haven't really looked back. It was one of the best decisions I've made, I think.
He doesn't treat wrestling as a seasonal sport, continuing to wrestle year-round with a club team.
I go to a club in Lowell all summer to wrestle, and I wrestle. I go to tournaments with them, and I'm practicing a couple times a week throughout the year to get better. Not so much watching my weight, but I'm just wrestling and competing.
This club helps him hone his technique, which he sees as the most important aspect of wrestling.
It's definitely, once you get in the season, it's definitely more about technique, and it's definitely like you're going to focus more on sharpening your skills than getting stronger. But I try and like lift and stay in good shape and maintain strength throughout the season.
All this work led to the most successful season of his career.
The season went pretty good. It was definitely my most successful year in high school. I think going into the postseason, I only had 1 loss, and it was a close match. And I think that I think I got a lot better from all the work that I've been doing in the off season and during the season.
The season of work culminated in playoff success.
My weight class, I wrestle 170, and I had about 15 kids in my bracket, and you just have to wrestle your way through the bracket and go through quarterfinals, semifinals, all the way up to the finals, and you just keep winning and you make it. I had Walpole first round. I had a kid from Walpole, and I beat him, and then Monty Tech was the next school that I had to wrestle. And after that, it was King Philip in the semifinals, and then Algonquin in the finals.
He was not done after winning the Central Mass Championship.
If you get top 4 in the section, you move on to the Division II state tournament. And so I went on there, and I did pretty well there. I got 5th place, and that got me to All States, which was the next tournament.
Wrestling for Marlborough High is not the end goal for Nate, and with the season he had, it shouldn't be.
In the future, yeah, I don't have any definite plans yet, but I do hope to continue my wrestling career in college, whether it's for a NCAA team or a club team or anything. I just want to keep wrestling.
We finally have the band back together in the Talkin' Sports locker room, so stay tuned.
Hi, my name is Stu Carrasco of the Boston Bruins. Hockey Fights Cancer is teaming up with the Pancreatic Cancer Action Network, and you can help. Learn how by going to thepancan.org and join the fight against pancreatic cancer today.
Hello and welcome inside the Talkin' Sports locker room. And look at this, we got the whole group together again.
It's crowded in here. My claustrophobia is kicking in.
For the first time since I think before the Super Bowl. That was the last time we were all together. Even last week I did a little soliloquy.
Yeah, solo.
A little solo mission. So we have some stuff to talk about. The Celtics are in full swing. The Bruins are in full swing. The NFL Combine's about to happen. So naturally, we're going to talk about the Red Sox. So the
Bruins are 7-2 since they got the new coach.
That is true. And the two only happened last night in a close game. Sorry
I threw you off.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. Spring training is in full swing now. No pun intended. And
I see what you did there.
A big question, like,
Can we
has
start
been,
over? No, I'm kidding.
Oh, God. Now you're just trying to throw me off. A big question, just like the past couple years, has been third base for the Red Sox.
Yes.
Where they have a $95 million man over there who two people on this panel are not fans of, and one is holding on to her past life with him, which hasn't really produced here in Boston. So we are obviously talking about
Because you guys
Pablo
have given him
Sandoval.
so long to prove himself.
The man
$34
swung a
million.
bat and broke his belt.
All right.
Because he was so fat, not because a malfunctioning belt.
Should we talk about him as a player or his looks? I thought
I
you
mean,
guys.
when you make $95 million, you might want to be in shape.
I get it.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Tom.
Well, he did show up to spring training and he has been performing. So everyone needs to calm their jets here in New England.
All right, so since Zoe has a lot to say, we'll start with Dan. Dan, what do you think about Pablo Sandoval?
Actually, if you don't mind, sir, I know this is your program, but I would like to hear from Zoe first because, what we've been alluding to but haven't said exactly, I mean, everyone by now knows that Zoe comes from California, and she's a huge San Francisco Giants fan.
Born and
And she saw the best of Pablo Sandoval, and she thinks that that's still possible. So explain that to us.
I really do. I think that everyone, like I said, needs to calm down, and everyone here seems to kind of jump the gun, but forget that actually he is such a well-rounded player. Like for the Giants, the 7 years he was with the Giants, 3 of which he went to the World Series with. He was on the All-Star time twice of those 3 years, and he was an MVP player. His fielding percentage is .958. That is pretty darn strong. And as an offensive player, he's just as good. I think everyone needs to remember that he's this well-rounded player that really was with a strong team, which the Red Sox are. And as a team player, the Red Sox, they need a third baseman, and he's there. And he's shown up to spring training in full swing, and I think that he can perform, just as well with the Red Sox, given everyone calm the down.
Wow.
Jeez. Dan?
He's a big fat man, okay? He did slim down, but let's see if, when he's on the road and they eat a bunch of fast food and a lot of food and they got... Hey, this is my time. My time.
Jeez, it's like a debate.
Well, here's the thing. Do I have anything to say about his stats? No, because you just did. What I'm talking about right now is his last year, which was non-existent because he was fat and he broke his belt, and the previous year, which he sucked, okay? So I'm talking more along the lines of what's going on now, and maybe it is a New England thing where, what have you done for me lately? Tom Brady, 5 Super Bowls. Anyway, I'm concerned about his weight issues because before he signed for $195 million, which I know it's not 195.
But it's 95.
It's 95. Before he signed for that, we knew that his defense might be a bit suspect, right? And that he was an okay performer in the regular season. Okay. But he got his 95 million over what he did during the postseason. So for me, it's all about right now, he's no longer fat, panda. He's sort of fat panda. So let's hit the reset button and let's see what he can do for this club this year.
And I will bring the stats into it. So, I did some research.
Oh boy.
So, as I said, 5 years, $95 million. Okay, so with the Red Sox, in 2 years, he has batted .241, which is awful. 10 home runs and 47 RBI. Now, people don't tend to focus on the standard stats anymore. You want production from your corner infielders, and 10 home runs and 47 RBI, that's good for April and half of May. Then you look at, so for 2 seasons, that's 324 games. He has played 129, so he hasn't been able to stay on the field. But he has made $34 million in those 2 years. And then, on-base percentage, which is kind of what got the whole sabermetrics Moneyball thing rolling. An average on-base percentage is 320.
Out of how many games?
No, a 320 average. It means when he gets to the plate, he gets on base.
Yeah.
No, for a season. That's
I
an average. A poor on-base percentage is 290. Or no, sorry, 300. And awful, the website I looked at, Fangraphs, which is a advanced stats website, 290 is awful, and Pablo Sandoval's is 289. So it's below that. And I will say, like you were saying with the Giants, he had a 347 on-base percentage. That has dropped 50 points almost, 60 points almost. I'm not good at math. Math wasn't my thing.
Do you know we have printers in the office?
Yeah,
You
but
can,
I like
actually
to
print this stuff
write it
out.
down.
I printed mine.
Okay.
I like to write it down. And then, okay, so everyone, a darling stat for everyone. I don't really like it because it's wins above replacement, which means how many wins you add to your team over a replacement level player. And I'm just like, obviously Mike Trout's better than a guy in AAA. Like, that's how I look at it, so it's silly. In his 7 years, and it's accumulated, it's not an average. So in his 7 years with the Giants, he had a 20.1 or 20.2, which is good. You know, in 2011 or 12, one of the years they won the World Series.
12.
Yeah, 2012, because even years. It was
And also I just know it, but it's fine.
6.1, which is unbelievable. And for the Red Sox, the past 2 years, he has a negative 1.1, meaning a replacement player would give them one more win per year.
And that actually goes to, Zoe, what I was saying is that, it's terrific what he did for the San Francisco Giants. And that fan base should hold him near and dear to their hearts.
Absolutely.
But when you sign for $95 million in a place where you're expected to perform and win, when you don't perform and win, and you become a blown-up version of yourself because you're so fat,
No
that
offense, you guys
gives
eat a lot of fried
everybody a
food.
reason to dislike him.
Well, you guys eat too much fried food here in New England. California's a little healthier, so that could have something to do with it.
All right, you eat seaweed in California.
He also,
Also,
but if you look at go
if
ahead.
you look at when he started with the Giants and his statistics going up, and you see his revving up with as any player with a team. Like, I mean, I get the good players always show up, and like he did, I do believe like he's gonna show up, but. I mean, it's not like you guys have made it easy for the guy. Like, and the players he's playing with is great, but
He's made $34 million and $95 million. Don't say we haven't made it easy on him.
And
Everything's
take it
easy for you
personally.
when you get $34
And
million.
I think in baseball, though, it's not like you put a quarterback in and he doesn't have a line and he doesn't have receivers, so that's not easy on him.
so let's take Pablo. I mean, fine, you guys.
Take
you guys need Pablo, so
Take
everyone
Pablo
needs to calm
out
down.
of it, and they won the American League East last year.
But, okay, so I'm just saying, like, I mean, who else are you going to put there then?
I mean,
Well, you know what, I am
going
going to say, she's right. We need Pablo Sandoval.
Oh, exactly.
We need the San Francisco Giants version of Pablo Sandoval.
Yeah, that's what they paid him for, but
Yeah.
it just hasn't happened. That's why everyone hates him right now.
I don't know. I think he's looking really strong in spring training so far, and I don't know. I feel good. I feel like I'm not worried.
I just hope he performs better and continues to be a little more in shape and a little less like his guest role in the Ghostbusters movie where he was a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
I hope so too.
I know it's always
for my
saying in
sake.
2005 when Pedro Martinez went to the Mets and he just wasn't Pedro again, I was like, well, who cares? It's still Pedro. I still love him. It's just how you feel about those people that did so much for your team.
You never know.
when
There
you
could
won.
be people walking around with panda hats.
Willie McGinnis, did he go to Cleveland right after?
Yes.
Yeah, so I loved him. He didn't
Yeah.
do anything for Cleveland, but I still love him.
Right.
All right, so this came out yesterday, big news from spring training, is another very expensive young man for the Red Sox, $27 million a year, David Price, is going to see Dr. James Andrews, the renowned, you have to get Tommy John surgery doctor. So, Dan, what are your thoughts?
I'm very upset about this. It bothers me because, I don't care how he ended strongly or anything like that. He still can't perform in the postseason. And I was looking forward to a full year. For some reason, some certain players, like David Price, like Rick Porcello, they need a year as a Boston Red Sox before they actually perform properly. That makes no sense to me. I don't expect that from Chris Sale, though, by the way. I think he's going to come out guns blazing.
I think it's because he's psycho.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that.
You can't be soft, and I think maybe David Price is a little soft. But getting back to his injury, if this is something, which again, if he's going to see Dr. Andrews, usually 9.999 times out of 10, he's going to have surgery and his season's over. So I'm very upset about that. And it just makes me happier that we have Chris Sale. And then, the idea that this team, according to Dave Dombrowski, is about 7 or 8 starters deep. No, it's not. At least we have those other bodies to rely upon.
Exactly. So?
I mean, I don't really think it's something everyone should worry about that much. Like I think I'm talking from the money perspective. Like
California,
he has the right of opting out after 3 years. He's on a 7 years, so that's not really that big of a deal. And most players, not most, but I know there's a high percentage of players that come back stronger. So, I know coming from, again, the SF Giants background, like Brian Wilson, he went through 2 of them. The second one not being obviously as good, and then he went to the Dodgers, and everyone in San Francisco hates him now. But I think that from a positive perspective, I think it's not the worst thing in the world, especially with all the money, and I think he could come back stronger. And you have the bodies, you have the guys, you have Wright, you have, the players that can come out and fill the space without being so worried as a team.
Wright and Rodriguez still are not really, they're throwing on the side and all that. And didn't Rodriguez have his first spring
Yep, against the Rays.
Yep. So you got those two, but Wright still isn't 100% ready to go.
And the knuckleball is tough.
So now you're talking about bringing in the likes of what's his name? The hurler that everybody thought was going to be the next Roger Clemens, and he stinks. He got tagged really bad by the Orioles the other day. Mikey. Orioles. He got tagged by the Orioles in the Grapefruit League game. Well, one of
Edwin Jackson.
Henry Owens. There you go.
Oh,
Mike Lawton. Why he's not out here with us is beyond me.
We'd be nowhere without him.
Henry Owens is there, and you got Johnson and Elias.
Yeah.
It's a concern if Price is really going to be injured for a long period of time.
Yeah, the reliable Mike Lawton and I were lamenting this yesterday, and
Mad Dog.
He said, he brought up a great point. He said the problem is you have to now rely on the back end more.
Yeah.
When you had Sale, Price, Porcello, or Price, Porcello, Sale, however you want to put those 3 guys, if those are your 3 guys in a series, you have a good chance of sweeping that series.
Yeah.
So now, if he's hurt, and again, this is a precautionary thing, but all the stuff they were saying about Price's injury, they said about Vasquez and Carson Smith, who both had Tommy John. So it's not a good thing. But this is all speculation, by the way. We haven't heard what Dr. James Andrews has said. But the thing is just there's so much, with these 3 guys, there's so much hope going into this season. Because they have a good offense, because of this, hopefully Kimbrel can come back and be better than he was last year, because he wasn't that great. And then if Carson Smith comes back healthy, then you don't worry about 8-9. You go 7 innings. You don't have to pitch the bullpen like crazy like last year.
None of these guys go 7 innings.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
All these starters are out in 5.5 or 6 innings. It's silly.
It is.
Do you feel like with Dr. Andrews, do you feel like he's always drunk when he meets with these guys? And he's like, we're going to touch you up and get you right. I just don't feel like there's any thought
Whatever
process.
he's doing, he's making plenty of money,
Yeah.
I'm sure of it. Everyone goes to him. ACLs, UCLs, anything else, CLs. But, yeah, so it's basically just a bummer because this was, kind of, you give up Moncada to bring Sale in because this season, let's just go for it. I don't know. The Indians are good. They're getting good pitchers back. But other than that, it's the Indians and Red Sox are really the class of the AL.
Yeah, and last year they got swept. They just weren't prepared to be there. And you kind of hope to have those three starters.
1, 2, 3 in the series.
And again, that's where you need Sandoval, because you made the point, well, the Red Sox still won the AL East without Sandoval. Well, if we have a healthy, good Sandoval, they're going to go places. They could go to the ALCS. You never know. They need him for that next step.
Absolutely. That's the main thing. That's why we hate him right now, is because he hasn't done anything.
Yeah.
I don't hate him. I really don't. I just like calling him fat because it makes me laugh.
I don't like him. That's going to do it. It was nice to have the whole team back together, and when we get back, we'll wrap up Sports Weekly.
And we're out.
You got plans?
You bet.
50 million Americans struggle with hunger, but we can do something about it.
Excuse me. What's going on?
Dinner.
Please join me in helping put food on their tables. Together, we can feed America.
You guys keep going. I'm gonna get the plates.
Plates?
Find your local food bank at feedingamerica.org/hunger.
That's it for this week. There are still playoff games to be played in the city, so stick with us to see the results and to see if Jill Petrie of Marlboro reaches the 1,000-point milestone. As always, follow us on Twitter for news and updates, and we'll see you again next week.